Hi friends, welcome to DTK Food and Travels. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Today we're going to be making something so simple. It's the meatloaf. So for the meatloaf, the meat that we're going to be using is ground turkey. You can use chicken, beef, if that's what you prefer, but we're using ground turkey. So for this recipe, I doubled it. So it calls for 1.5 pounds of turkey or any kind of ground meat, but I'm gonna double the recipe because we're making two. Like I said, you only need 1.5 pounds if you're just making one meatloaf. So for two meatloaves, you're gonna need 1.5 pounds of ground turkey, 2 eggs, one diced onion, 2 cups milk, and 2 cups breadcrumbs. You're just going to go ahead and combine all of this together, and you can add salt and pepper as you would like. We would just mix all of this together. Just make sure that everything's blended really well. And if it's for one meatloaf, you would need 1.5 pounds of ground turkey or any kind of meat, 1 egg, 1 onion, 1 cup milk, 1 cup breadcrumbs, and of course, salt and pepper to taste. And you would just get all of this blended really well. This just looks like a lot of milk right now, but when you cook it, the meatloaf is so good. It's not dried out like sometimes you would get when you make it. So this amount of milk would help it bake really well and it'll stay moist. I use 2% milk, but you can use any kind of milk. Now, I don't know if the amount of milk you would need if you use a plant-based milk or any other type of milk would be the same, but since this is a non-veg dish, I would assume only people who eat meat would be making this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this mixed really well, and then you want to go ahead and divide it into two and put it into loaf pans. And I did go ahead and grease my loaf pans, but you don't need to. But I did because the turkey doesn't have a lot of fat, and I just wanted to make sure that it did not stick to the sides or the bottom. It came out real easy when I took it out of the pan after I baked it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get about equal amounts into both pans, and then we're gonna make a topping for this. That's what makes this takes this over the top and makes it a little special. So I made this when my son and daughter-in-law were visiting us for Thanksgiving. So they flew in on a Wednesday, and I made this for dinner, and everyone loved it. So this is definitely one of those keepers. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the bowl aside and get going with the glaze for the top of the ground turkey. So for the glaze, so this is for the 1 pan of the meatloaf or the 1.5 pounds ground turkey. So for one loaf, you would need 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of mustard, and 1/3 cup ketchup. You want to mix all of this together and then just spread it on top of the loaf. That's all it is. And one thing, when you're mixing the brown sugar, make sure there are no lumps in it. So I thought I had mixed everything really well, and as I was pouring it over the meatloaf, as you'll see in a few seconds, I felt a couple of lumps in there. I was able to melt one, but the other one was stubborn, so I ended up just getting it out and throwing it away. Just gonna go ahead and pour that over that one. That's where I felt that little lump and just moved it to the top. Then there was that one, that was the stubborn one, so I just got rid of that one. So just be careful when you're mixing it. Just make sure there are no lumps. Just gonna go ahead and spread it evenly on both of them. And while you're doing all this, you do want to go ahead and preheat the oven to 350. Forgot to mention that in the beginning of the video. So you do want to preheat the oven to 350 and you just bake it for 1 hour. This is one of those easiest dinners that you can make. You can even mix this in the morning and have it ready for dinner. So that's what I did. I did go ahead and get this ready in the morning and then just put it in the oven in the late afternoon because they came in the evening. So I cooked this before I actually went to the airport to pick them up. So that's all it is. It's so simple. It's one of those simple recipes that does not take that time at all. I already had the onions diced and everything was prepped, so it just made the day before Thanksgiving much easier. So there it is. I put it in the oven. Then I'm gonna go ahead and just set the timer for 1 hour. Should be ready in 1 hour, no problem. And then I served this with a side of zucchini casserole, some Brussels sprouts, and some potatoes. Hope all of you will try the recipe and like it. Thank you for watching. These are our cats, Beanie and Peanut. Since the next day was Thanksgiving, we decided to treat them to some catnip, and they enjoyed it. They love the catnip, but we don't give it to them all the time, just for special occasions. So there they are going crazy with the little toy that has the catnip inside it. Thanks again for watching.